Why I believe communication is a very valuable, no, an extremely valuable problem-solving tool. The short answer is that when people are collaborating or working together, I believe communication gives the highest chance possible to achieve mutual agreements. Now that this short answer has finished, people are welcome to stop watching this video, and I will now talk about related long answers. So this is based partly on my experience, because I have struggled to communicate with people, and communication seems valuable, partly because especially when there are differences in people, then we can more easily understand what are those differences, and how to find the best balance between people. And in this type of world, at least anecdotally, there seems to be a very, very high chance that people will discover other people who are very different to them, because we all have a massive psychological diversity. We have very different minds, whether that is introvert or extrovert or ambivert, and many of us have very, very different experiences as well. Some people came from financially wealthy families. Some people came from financially poor families. Some people came from financially average families. And all the opportunities or lack of that we experienced when growing up may be different as well. And also considering that this world is constantly changing, whether that means new technologies or new services or new things, it makes it very difficult for any two random people chosen to be perfectly the same in all of those ways and more. So this is partly based on my own experiences, because I identify as a neurodivergent person, and I have always struggled to fit into this world that was not built to be friendly to people like me. So I've had more opportunities to understand that communication is likely one of the best ways for people to navigate and balance out their differences. And I haven't discovered any much evidence yet that can prove me wrong that communication is extremely helpful. And if people do have really strong evidence, even anecdotally, to prove why communication would not be helpful to all people or to most people, then I would be interested in learning why. But to make communication more challenging, I also have suddenly realized there are many challenges to maintaining consistently high quality communication. So one of them is that it seems like most people don't have the motivation to engage in such a level of communication, and that is a freedom of choice, and that can be respected. But that choice can make difficulties much more challenging to solve, or when when complex challenges emerge, they might be more difficult to solve when people are unwilling to communicate. And other reasons that people may not choose to communicate could be maybe people experienced emotional trauma in their life, so they want to try to forget those negative experiences. So those people are more likely to close up and not really communicate. So if that is a choice from people, then that is a freedom of choice that should be respected as well. But choosing to not communicate as openly or as often or as freely can also produce or contribute to other problems as well. And one thing I did learn as well is that it seems like many people might be content with extremely minimal communication. And maybe people and relatedly, people might easily feel overwhelmed from too much communication, which I believe might be a symptom of larger problems. So for example, maybe the English language might be a very difficult language to use, because there are so many words and sentences and phrases to memorize, and trying to find the most accurate words to express feelings and thoughts can be challenging. So I believe language is maybe not in a form that is accessible enough yet for most people. And relatedly, maybe some people don't even have English or don't communicate with English as their first language. So that can make communication through English more challenging for those people, which is not their fault. I believe it is a language is generally challenging for most people, including myself. And yeah, that might be all I wanted to say. I've just been holding these thoughts for a very long time, and one reason for why I have these, or I record these talks for my YouTube videos, is to try to unload some executive or try to free up my executive functioning capacity, because I don't like to write down thoughts, because like in the form of a diary, because that too can be an executive functioning burden, and I have so many hundreds or thousands of thoughts that it is often a motivation to unload them from my mind as quickly as possible, so I can more easily organize and process those thoughts further. Because of the limited working memory space that I believe I have. But just to circle back to this video briefly, I believe one reason why people don't choose to communicate more is that they probably it was not really a requirement in their life. Most people could probably live their entire life with minimal or maybe even no communication. And to be fair on many people, one reason why I am highly motivated and very passionate about developing communication skills is because I I struggle to operate in a world that was not designed to be friendly for people like me for a very, very long time, and still pieces of neurodivergence, unfriendliness. So communication is almost like or very much a highly valued skill to me, because it's one of the only options I have left to try to function in this world, and try to lead a happier future for myself. So communication is one of my biggest values, and when I engage with people, and when I have to communicate with people, I often try my best to communicate as best I can, and to listen as much as I can. And I can be a very persistent communicator, meaning I want to follow, or I want to progress discussions until the very end, when we have solved problems or mutual agreements and mutual understandings. And the I guess the consequence, or the quirk, or the side effect, or the result is that I've also realized that I may have pushed myself to develop communication skills that might be more advanced than most people. Because I'm actively working so hard to practice communication, and to interact with people through very accurate and very clear communication. So I've somehow taken something that is very challenging for me, and kind of built a super strength from that. If that makes sense. And I'm not saying like I am some super heroic communicator, but I'm always trying to grow my communication skills. And because I never stop, it just naturally grows over time. And I'm not doing this because of competition, or because I'm trying to impress people, or anything. It's just I have experienced much suffering from my persistent challenges, and challenges I have experienced in my past. And communication gives me a tool to try and minimize those difficulties. So it is more like a survival need for me to continuously grow these communication skills. I believe I don't have any more I want to share for this recording. So thanks for listening.